You're doing everything you're supposed to do. You wake up early. You write in your journal, listing everything you're grateful for. You look your own reflection in the eye and say your affirmations, trying to convince yourself that you're worthy, abundant, and successful. You've read the self-help books, you've listened to the podcasts, and you've tried every productivity hack out there. And yet, nothing really changes, does it? That promotion goes to someone else. Your bank account is still a source of that constant, nagging anxiety. The same kind of draining, toxic relationships seem to find you, no matter how many times you swear to yourself, never again. You're running on a hamster wheel of personal development, putting in all the effort, but the scenery never changes. And you're hitting that point, the one where you're just about ready to throw your hands up and call it a day. The one where you start to think, maybe this is just it. Maybe this is all my life is meant to be. What if I told you that all that effort was aimed at the wrong target? What if the reason you feel stuck has nothing to do with how hard you're trying and everything to do with a powerful principle you've probably never used correctly? This is the story of how a simple philosophical idea, one that has echoed through different traditions for centuries, can explain why you're stuck and, more importantly, how you can finally break free. Let's be honest. The world of self-improvement can feel like a maze with no exit. It promises transformation, but often just delivers a temporary shot of motivation. You get fired up after a seminar, feel a surge of hope from a meditation session, or write down your goals with total conviction. But a week, a month, or a year later, you're right back where you started, staring at the same problems, feeling the same old frustrations. Why does this happen? Why do so many proven techniques seem to fall flat for so many people? The answer is pretty simple. Most self-help focuses on the symptoms, not the root cause. It's like trying to fix a cracked mirror by polishing it. You can scrub and polish all day, but the crack is still there. Affirmations, goal setting, even positive thinking. These are all tools for polishing the mirror. They work on your conscious, thinking mind, which is just the surface of your awareness. But the crack, the real source of the issue, is much, much deeper. You can tell yourself, I am wealthy 1,000 times, but if deep down, in the vast subconscious part of your mind, you believe you're unworthy of money or that wealth is for other people, your actions and perceptions will reflect that deeper belief, not the surface-level affirmation. It's a conflict between what you say you want and what you truly believe you deserve. Your subconscious mind holds the blueprint that guides your automatic behaviors and perceptions, and your life tends to take shape based on that blueprint, not just the words you speak. This is why you see the same patterns showing up over and over. These aren't random streaks of bad luck. They're feedback. They're echoes of a root cause you've been accidentally ignoring. Maybe you notice you always end up in jobs where you feel undervalued, or you consistently attract partners who are emotionally unavailable. Or maybe, just when you're about to get ahead financially, an unexpected expense always seems to pop up and wipe out your progress. These recurring situations are not just happening to you. Psychologically speaking, they are happening through you. They are the external result of an internal program, a program you probably didn't even know was running. This is the great frustration of modern self-help. It gives you a hammer and tells you to build a house, but it never mentions you might be building on a faulty foundation. To truly change your life, you have to stop polishing the mirror and start addressing the crack. You have to stop trying to shout over the subconscious program and instead learn how to rewrite the code itself. And to do that, you need to understand the powerful principle that governs this whole process. The principle that explains all of this is ancient, elegant, and surprisingly simple. It's often called the Law of Correspondence, and you've likely heard its most famous phrase, as within, so without, as above, so below. This saying is a cornerstone of Hermetic philosophy, a school of thought linked to a legendary figure named Hermes Trismegistus. Now, it's important to know that its most popular modern summary, a 1908 book called The Kybalion, is a modern interpretation from the New Thought movement, not a direct ancient scripture. Still, the core idea, the correspondence between our inner and outer worlds, is a thread that runs through countless philosophical and psychological traditions. So what does as within, so without really mean? It means your external reality, your health, wealth, relationships, and career, tends to be a reflection of your internal reality. Your inner world of thoughts, beliefs, and emotions acts like a filter, and your life experience is colored by that filter. It proposes that there isn't a hard wall between your mind and your life. They're in a constant feedback loop. This isn't just about thinking positive and hoping for the best. It's a much deeper, more functional way of looking at your experience. It suggests that the patterns inside you are often matched by the patterns outside of you. If your inner world is full of chaos, fear, and limiting beliefs, your life will likely feel chaotic and limited. On the flip side, if you can cultivate an inner world of peace, clarity, and self-worth, your external life will begin to shift to reflect that new internal state. Let's be clear, this is a philosophical principle, not a physical law like gravity. There is no scientific evidence proving that your thoughts magically conjure things out of thin air. Instead, its power operates through observable psychological mechanisms. Your deeply held beliefs shape your perception, filter what you notice, and guide your behavior, often in ways you don't even consciously realize. If your subconscious belief is, "I'm always overlooked," your brain will actively scan your reality to confirm that belief. You'll notice every time you're overlooked, but dismiss or forget the times you were praised. Your belief guides your focus dictates your perception, and your perception becomes your reality. This isn't magic. It's the neuropsychology of how we create our experience. As within, so without is just a powerful and elegant name for this profound process. It's the operator's manual for your own mind. To really get this, let's look at the mechanics of how the inner world shapes the outer world. Imagine your subconscious mind as a powerful movie projector. The film in that projector is made up of your deepest beliefs, your core assumptions, and your dominant emotional patterns. The world you experience is the movie playing on the screen. Most of us spend our lives yelling at the screen. We see a villain and shout, "Go away!" We see a tragedy and cry, "That's not fair!" We see a lack of success and demand, "Where's my happy ending?" But you can't change the movie by yelling at the screen. You have to change the film in the projector. So, what is this film made of? It's made of a few layers that work together. First, you have your beliefs and subconscious programming. These are the fundamental truths you hold about yourself and the world, many of which were formed in early childhood. Things your parents said, experiences at school, and cultural messages were absorbed directly into your subconscious, forming the core of your identity. If you were repeatedly told money is the root of all evil, or you have to work twice as hard as everyone else just to survive, those ideas became part of your internal operating system. These beliefs now act like commands your mind works to obey. If you believe deep down that you're not worthy of love, you might unconsciously sabotage relationships to prove that belief correct. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy orchestrated by the most powerful part of your mind. Second, the film contains your dominant emotional state. Your emotions aren't just fleeting feelings. They color your entire perception of reality. If you live in a state of chronic anxiety, you will see the world through a lens of threat and danger. A neutral comment from your boss is interpreted as criticism. A friend not texting back immediately becomes a sign of rejection. Your emotional state is like a filter, constantly looking for evidence to justify its own existence. You don't just get what you want, you often get what you are on an emotional level. If you want to experience a peaceful life, you have to start by cultivating peace within. The feeling often has to come before the reality. Third, there's the layer of your habitual thoughts and inner dialogue. Think about that narrator in your head. What's their tone? What do they say about you when you mess up? What stories do they tell about your future? This inner self-talk is the constant reinforcement of your subconscious beliefs. If your inner dialogue is full of self-criticism, doubt, and worry, "I can't do this. I'm going to fail. I'm not good enough," you are actively rehearsing the state of failure. Neuroscience shows that this kind of repetitive thinking strengthens neural pathways, making these negative thought patterns your brain's default setting. You are literally wiring your brain to produce the very outcomes you're afraid of. These three layers, core beliefs, dominant emotions, and habitual thoughts, combine to create the film that projects your reality. It's an automatic, self-reinforcing system. Your inner state influences your behavior. Your behavior creates your external results. And those results then serve as proof that your original beliefs were correct, reinforcing the whole loop. This is the cycle that keeps people stuck for years. They are trapped inside a movie they don't realize they're projecting themselves. The principle of as within, so without doesn't just explain this. It gives you the power to become the director instead of just an actor. If this principle holds true, then your life right now is the most honest diagnostic tool you could ask for. It's a perfect, unfiltered report card on your internal state. This can be a little scary, but it's also incredibly empowering. It's scary because it means there's nowhere to hide and no one else to blame for your internal world. But it's empowering because you no longer have to guess what your limiting beliefs are. Your life is showing them to you 24/7. To start this diagnostic process, you have to be willing to look at your life with radical honesty, not as a victim, but as a detective looking for clues. First, look at your finances. What story does your bank account tell? Is it a story of abundance and ease, or a story of struggle, scarcity, and just enough to get by? If you're constantly dealing with debt or surprise expenses that drain your savings, this isn't just bad luck. It's a mirror reflecting your internal beliefs about money. Maybe you believe deep down that you don't deserve wealth, or perhaps you believe rich people are greedy, so your subconscious keeps you from becoming one to maintain your sense of being a good person. Your financial reality is a direct printout of your beliefs about worthiness, safety, and abundance. Next, look at your relationships. What patterns do you see? Do you consistently attract partners who are emotionally unavailable, critical, or need fixing? This is a powerful reflection. It often mirrors a lack of self-worth or a subconscious belief that you have to earn love by being a caretaker. If you feel unseen or unheard by your partners, it's an invitation to ask yourself, where am I making myself unseen? Where am I not valuing my own voice? If people constantly take advantage of your kindness, it's a sign that your internal state isn't enforcing strong boundaries. The people in your life are often messengers, and the message is about you. Now look at your career. Do you feel fulfilled and appreciated? Or do you feel stuck, bored, and undervalued? If you're consistently passed over for promotions, it could reflect a deep-seated fear of success or imposter syndrome. That feeling that you're a fraud and don't deserve a position of power. If you're a workaholic who can't switch off, it may mirror a belief that your worth is tied directly to your productivity. Your job is a stage, and the role you play on it reveals the character you believe you are. Finally, look at your health. Your physical body can be an immediate mirror of your internal state. Chronic stress, which is a product of our thought patterns, has well-documented negative effects on the body. Do you hold tension in your shoulders from carrying the weight of the world? Do you have digestive issues because you can't stomach a situation in your life? While not all health issues are psychosomatic, this principle invites us to see the connection between our emotional state and our physical well-being. This process of reading your reality is step 0. You can't change a program until you know what program is running. Take out a journal and without judgment, write down the recurring patterns in each of these areas. Just observe. What is the movie on your screen actually showing? Because once you see it clearly, you can finally start the work of changing the film. Once you've used your external world as a diagnostic tool, the next step is the hardest and most liberating part of this whole journey. It's the conscious decision to take 100% responsibility for your experience of life. Now let's be crystal clear about what this means and what it does not mean. Taking responsibility does not mean blaming yourself. It is not your fault that you experience trauma or that systemic issues like poverty and discrimination don't exist and don't have a real impact. This is not about blaming the victim. That's a toxic and disempowering misinterpretation of this idea. What taking responsibility does mean is taking ownership of your internal world. It means accepting that, ultimately, you are the one in charge of your thoughts, your beliefs, and your reactions. While you can't always control what happens to you, you have complete power over how you respond to it, and in that response lies the seed of your future. This is a massive psychological shift from a victim mindset to a creator mindset. The victim says, "Life happens to me." The creator says, "I experience life through me." The victim complains about the movie. The creator walks back to the projection booth to see what film is running. This is radical because our culture often runs on blame. We blame our parents, our bosses, the government, the economy. Blame feels good for a second because it lets us off the hook. But in doing so, it also strips us of our power. If someone or something else is the source of your problems, then you are, by definition, powerless to fix them. Taking 100% responsibility is the act of taking all that power back. It's looking at a betrayal and saying, that event revealed a blind spot in my awareness or a place where I lack boundaries. I am responsible for healing that part of me so this pattern doesn't repeat. It's looking at an empty bank account and saying, this situation is a reflection of my internal beliefs about wealth and worthiness. I am responsible for changing those beliefs. This perspective is the ultimate form of empowerment. It declares that no matter what's happened in your past, you have the power to create a different future by mastering the one thing you have total control over, your own consciousness. It's a declaration that says, my internal state is my domain, and since my internal state influences my experience of life, I am the ultimate authority. This isn't a one-time decision, it's a daily practice. Every time you find yourself complaining or blaming, you have a choice. You can go down the victim path, or you can pause and ask the creator's question, how is this situation reflecting my inner world? And what can I change within myself to alter my experience of this reality? Choosing the creator's path is the first real step toward freedom. It's scary, yes. It takes guts, but it's the only way off the hamster wheel. Once you take responsibility, you become the operator, not the machine. Now comes the practical work of being the creator, actively changing the film in your projector. This is the process of rewriting your subconscious programming. It takes more than wishful thinking. It requires dedicated practice. You can't change a belief you don't know you have. Your life has already shown you the symptoms. Now it's time to trace them back to the source. A powerful method for this is the downward arrow technique, adapted from cognitive behavioral therapy. Start with a problem. For example, I never have enough money. Now ask yourself, if that's true, what does it mean about me? Maybe the answer is, it means I'm a failure. There's a belief, but go deeper. If it's true that I'm a failure, what's so bad about that? It means I'll never be respected. And if I'm never respected, what does that mean? It means I'll end up alone and unloved. See what just happened? The surface problem of not enough money was never really about the money. It was about a deep core fear of being unworthy of love. The financial struggle is just a manifestation of that deeper wound. Your work now is to challenge and reframe that core belief. Once you've found it, I am unlovable, actively search for evidence to the contrary. Write down every single time in your life you have felt loved, appreciated, or connected. It doesn't have to be some grand romance. A friend who listened, a family member who supported you, a pet who adores you. It all counts. Your mind has been filtering for evidence of your unworthiness. Your job is to consciously retrain it to see the evidence of your worth. Then create a new empowering belief. Instead of I am unlovable, maybe your new belief is I am inherently worthy of love and connection just by being who I am. Turn this into an affirmation, but not one you just repeat mindlessly. Say it with feeling. The key is to feel the emotion of the new belief as if it's already true. The principle, as within, so without, suggests you get more of what you are. This means your dominant emotional state is one of the most powerful creative forces in your life. It's not enough to think new thoughts, you have to feel a new way. This is about consciously choosing and cultivating the emotions of your desired future. If you want to experience abundance, you can't spend your days swimming in the feeling of lack. You have to learn how to generate the feeling of abundance now before the evidence shows up. How? Through practices like gratitude. Gratitude isn't just about being polite. It's the emotional signature of having received something. When you are genuinely grateful for the $10 in your wallet, for the roof over your head, for the hot cup of coffee in your hands, you are practicing the feeling of having enough. You shift your emotional state from lack to sufficiency. From that state, you make decisions from a place of fullness, not desperation. and you start to notice opportunities you were blind to before. Start a daily gratitude practice. Don't just list things. For each item, close your eyes and truly feel the emotion of gratitude in your body. Feel the warmth, the peace, the relief. Spend a few minutes each day intentionally cultivating the emotions you want your life to be filled with. Want to attract love? Practice feeling love by appreciating the people you already have and by cultivating genuine self-love. You have to become an emotional match for the reality you want to experience. Visualization isn't just daydreaming, it's a focused mental rehearsal that helps train your brain to accept a new reality as possible. When you vividly imagine a scenario, your brain often doesn't distinguish between the imagined event and a real one. Many of the same neural pathways light up. In a way, you're creating memories of a future that hasn't happened yet. Here's how to do it right. Don't just watch yourself achieving a goal like a movie. Step into the scene in the first person. What do you see through your own eyes? If your goal is to nail a presentation, see the faces in the audience, the slides on the screen, then engage your other senses. What do you hear? The sound of applause, your own confident voice. What do you feel? The solid floor beneath your feet, the clicker in your hand, the feeling of accomplishment in your chest. The trick is to combine the visuals with the emotion. Feel the joy, the pride, the gratitude of having already achieved it. Hold that sensory and emotional state for 5 to 10 minutes a day. By doing this, you're priming your reticular activating system to spot opportunities that match this vision. You're conditioning your body to know what success feels like. You're building a bridge of familiarity to that future, which reduces the subconscious fear of the unknown that so often sabotages us. Perhaps the most convincing argument for as within, so without is the existence of recurring destructive patterns. The same type of person, the same type of problem, the same type of crisis. It shows up again and again, maybe with a different name and face, but it's the same underlying dynamic. These patterns are not a curse. They are your most dedicated teachers. They are life tapping you on the shoulder and saying, hey, you missed something. There's a lesson here you still need to learn. Take the classic example of someone who repeatedly attracts partners with narcissistic traits. They end one painful relationship, swear, never again, and 6 months later, they're in a new one with the exact same dynamic. The names have changed, but the pattern is identical. The surface level approach is to blame the partners. Why do I keep finding these people? The as within, so without approach is to look in the mirror. The pattern isn't about the people you are finding, it's about the part of you that resonates with that dynamic. A controlling or toxic partner can only get a foothold where there are weak boundaries, a deep need for external validation, or an unhealed wound related to earning love. The partner is simply the mirror reflecting the internal issue. The pattern will keep repeating, often getting louder each time until you finally turn your attention inward. The moment you start the deep work of building self-worth and learning to set and enforce boundaries, the pattern breaks. It's not that you magically repel toxic people, it's that you are no longer an energetic match for them. They will either have to change their behavior around you, or more likely, they will just fade out of your life because the dynamic they need to operate is no longer there. Healthier people start to appear, not by magic, but because you're now broadcasting a different signal. The same is true for financial struggles. The pattern of get money, lose money often points to our internal relationship with wealth. Perhaps it's a deep-seated belief that you aren't capable of managing money, so you subconsciously get rid of it to prove yourself right. To break the pattern, you have to address the internal cause. This means working through your limiting beliefs about money and cultivating an emotional state of security, even when your bank account doesn't reflect it yet. When you change your internal state, your external behavior follows, and the pattern begins to dissolve. Whatever your recurring pattern is, see it not as a life sentence, but as a final exam. Life will keep presenting it to you until you pass. And you pass not by changing the external situation, but by healing the internal condition that allows it to exist. If this is starting to click for you, if you're seeing the connections between your inner world and the struggles you've been facing, then this is just the beginning. Understanding this is one thing, but applying it consistently is what creates real change. The principle is often summarized as As within, so without. But it's a two-way street. It also implies, as without, so within. This means that while your inner world shapes your outer world also reinforces your inner world. It's a feedback loop. This gives us another powerful tool for change, deliberately shaping our environment to support our new, desired internal state. Think about it. It's really hard to cultivate inner peace if you live and work in a space it's cluttered and chaotic. A messy desk isn't just a messy desk. It's a constant, low-level visual cue to your brain that reinforces feelings of being overwhelmed. Cleaning your physical space isn't just a chore. It's an act of declaring to yourself and your subconscious, I am choosing order. I am choosing clarity. I am creating an external environment that matches the internal peace I'm building. This principle extends most powerfully to the people you surround yourself with. There's a popular saying that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. While not a scientific law, it holds a lot of truth. Their beliefs, their emotional states, and their conversations are part of your external environment, and they absolutely influence your inner state. If you're trying to build a mindset of abundance, but you spend all your time with friends who only complain about being broke and how unfair the world is, you are swimming against a very strong current. Their without is constantly programming your within. This is why curating your social circle isn't selfish. It's necessary for personal growth. This doesn't mean you have to cut off everyone from your past, but it does mean you need to be intentional. Limit time with people who drain your energy and reinforce old patterns. Actively seek out people who inspire you, who live in a state you wish to emulate, and whose conversations are about possibilities, not problems. Their energy and beliefs will begin to influence yours, making your inner work so much easier. Conduct an environmental audit of your life. What content are you consuming? Does the news and social media you scroll through make you feel fearful and inadequate? Or does it uplift you? What does your home feel like? Is it a sanctuary or a storage unit? Who are you giving your most valuable resource, your time and attention to? Do they feed your future or your limitations? By consciously shaping your external world to align with your desired internal state, you create a positive feedback loop. Your peaceful home makes it easier to feel peaceful inside. Your inspiring friends make it easier to believe in your own potential. This alignment between the within and the without accelerates your transformation, making your new reality feel not just possible, but natural. We started this journey by talking about that deep frustration of feeling stuck, of trying everything and getting nowhere. We've been told to hustle harder and think more positively, all while ignoring the fundamental operating system of our own minds. The principle of as within, so without changes the whole game. It's a framework that shifts your focus from the outside world to the only place where your true power lies, inside of you. Your life isn't just a random series of events. It's a mirror reflecting the sum total of your beliefs, emotions, and thoughts. Those recurring struggles and frustrating patterns are not your punishment. They are your curriculum. They are feedback, guiding you back to the unhealed parts of yourself that need your attention. By accepting this, you move from being a passive passenger in your life to being the conscious creator of your experience. You understand that changing your life isn't about manipulating the world outside, but about mastering the world inside. It's about having the courage to take radical responsibility, the discipline to excavate your limiting beliefs, the wisdom to practice the emotions of your future, and the commitment to align your environment with your vision. This isn't the easiest path. It requires honesty, courage, and daily effort, but it is the only path that leads to genuine, lasting change. You have the power to change the film in the projector. You have the power to stop yelling at the mirror and realize you are the one looking back. The key to the life you want has been within you all along. The only question is, are you ready to use it? For those of you who are ready to go deeper with practical tools for this kind of inner work, consider subscribing. We're building a community here dedicated to moving past surface-level hacks and into the real mechanics of personal change. The journey from feeling like a victim of your circumstances to becoming the creator of your reality is the most important one you'll ever take.